Hello, my name is Julie Hall, and I'm a retired Air Force colonel and a veteran. I want to thank you all for joining us for this Military Veterans video series. Our goal is to build a video database of interviews from area military veterans and veterans of foreign wars. We want to archive this information for future generations so that you can appreciate. We're honored to have you with us today, and we hope that you find this series both heartfelt and educational. So thank you for joining. Today we have with us Gary Cameron, who is a veteran. And Gary, please tell us about yourself.
Hi. I've lived in town for 42 years in Norton. I'm a Marine Corps disabled veteran from the Vietnam War. When I got out, I was a corporal. I was in Vietnam from 1967 to 1969. I was awarded the Purple Heart on June 22nd, 1968. I'm a survivor of the Tet Offensive in '68. I get the Combat Action Ribbon and a bunch of other medals and ribbons.
And Gary, just for our listening audience, this Purple Heart is one of the highest honors that a veteran can receive. So first of all, we honor you for that. Would you tell us a little bit about what you did or what the circumstances were of how you got awarded the Purple Heart?
It was like I said, June 22nd of 1968. We were going across a river and we were bringing refugees over, what we call these orders. And I was a combat engineer. I did demolitions, booby traps, and mine sweeping. So the tank in front of us blew a track because it hit a mine, so they called us up to sweep the rest of the road after we went across the river into the other side. And as we were sweeping the road, I remember my friend Charlie Burkhardt, he come running up and I told him and the other guys told him to stay back. And he didn't for some reason and ran by us, and when he did, he stepped on a mine and he got killed. And they said I was like 4 feet from him and I went flying about 20 feet. And next thing you know, I woke up in the medevac chopper. And then that was it,
Right.
you know, and I thought it was my ticket home, but it wasn't. They patched me up. I was in the hospital for about a month and patched me up, sent me back out in the bush, out in the jungle, and I was with 1st Battalion, 7th Marine Charlie Company, 1st Platoon. I was 18 years old when that happened.
Let me ask you this question. So after that happened and you wake up in the medical ward, what's going through your mind in between this time? Did you know you were going back out, or what was going through your mind?
I thought I was going home.
Okay.
I was all bandaged up. My right eye had what they call a high femur behind it, and I couldn't move, you know, or they said I could have lost the eye. And I got shrapnel on the back of my head, into my ear, down my back. And I was like bandaged up half my head. And I was just terrified, you know. I'm an 18-year-old kid,
Right.
you know.
Right.
You know, not because of that, but when I first got to Vietnam, made a man out of me overnight, you know. I was 17, I turned 18 when I got there. But waking up in the hospital, this guy kept walking by, and he knew me for some reason. It was a kid I knew from Braintree, because I was born and raised in Weymouth. And I get to talk to him for a while, and then that was it. They sent us back out.
So when you found out that you were going back out,
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about that.
I just did what I was told, you know.
Yeah.
That was the orders. you know, nothing I could do. I couldn't say, no, I'm not, you know. Would have been in
Right.
big trouble. You know, just became very, very careful, you know.
Right.
Very careful. I mean, not that I wasn't. I mean, my poor friend, he had a month to go. He was going home. I couldn't understand that, why they, when somebody had a month left, why they put them out there, you know. Matter of fact, I volunteered for this mission because one of the guys are going on R&R, and I said, I'll take it, you know. So, I'll never forget what my father told me when I went over there. Don't volunteer for nothing. That's when you get hurt.
Right.
And that's what I did. I volunteered, and I got hurt.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that as long as I live. That still echoes in my ear.
Yeah, I know there's many times, I know throughout my career and other people's career, where you hear those stories about somebody who's got, and you see it on TV a lot now,
Yeah.
somebody that's got a very short period of time and they don't make it back.
Yeah.
And I think that's, you know, something that in particular, somebody who's not in the military doesn't really understand the effect of that.
Yeah.
So, you know, and you saying you volunteered to go out and do it for somebody else. So that's a tough one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I volunteered when I joined too. You know, I didn't get drafted or anything. I never even saw a draft card.
Right.
I volunteered. I was 17.
Wow, it's amazing.
I was when I come home, I was 120 pounds. And after about 6 months, Mom was home cooking. I blew up like the Goodyear blimp, you know. But here I am.
So tell me, what were some of the most rewarding parts of your career?
Meet new friends.
Yeah.
You know, meet new buddies over there.
Right.
And matter of fact, we stay in touch. A bunch
That
of
was
us
going
out
to
in
be my next
Ohio,
question. Yeah.
you know, and we get together,
Yeah.
you know, every couple of years. But that's about it. I don't talk about it. I'm like everybody else.
Right.
We don't talk about it, you know.
Right. Now, why do you think that is? That, I mean, I know. I mean,
We, you know, they like forgot about us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And
so
like-
what do you feel like? Do you feel sort of like, hey, now you're asking me?
yeah,
Right. Yeah.
exactly. You
A little
know?
bit of anger.
Yeah, there's anger there. Yeah, absolutely. You know, and my thing, what I tell these young kids now, is I'll make sure, you know, not just myself, the VFW, that we, you know, we take care, send, you know, care packages to the troops, and to not let anything happen to them what happened to us.
Right.
That's what our goal is. It's not going to happen to you what happened to us. You know, you're going to be welcome home. You know, you need anything, we're there for you. You're not just, you know.
Yeah, I think it was fairly devastating, and we're still dealing with the repercussions now of what happened then. You know, to go through some of the experiences that you all have gone through. And I'm going to kind of drive you there a little bit, so apologize. I'm going to ask you, explain what you're really doing out there when you're sweeping for.
When I first got there, the orders were, you know, sweep the road. Matter of fact, the road I was sweeping every morning was called Route 1. Believe it or not. I never heard of Route 1 till I moved up, till I come home.
Sure.
But, and if we found one, we had to disarm them. You know, but too many guys were getting wounded or killed. So they finally said, you find a mine, you blow it in place. So you found a mine, you know, you probe, you know, with your K-bar, and then you put an explosive on it, and fire in the hole, you blew it up.
Yeah.
That's how we did the road sweeping. Booby traps and that, we were out on a patrol. You know, we found tunnels or whatever. We went in, you know, and set up either a crater or a shape charge, blew it up, and that's what our job was. Or booby traps, we blew them in place.
Right. So you actually physically went with your, the knife, basically, for the civilians, the knife, and poking in the ground. And, sometimes you can't see these things, so you're
Exactly.
poking in the ground, and that's what causes
And then you had
toxicity.
you could like sense it, feel it. Then you cut around it and
Yeah.
see where it was, and put a piece of C4 there with a plastic cap in it, or a time delay fuse, and
Not the job that people would want to volunteer for.
no.
No.
And I didn't volunteer for it either. That was my MOS.
Okay.
1371 it was called.
What was the thing that you regret the most, or probably had the most effect on you while you were there? Some episode, some activity, something that affected you the most in terms of you remember the most?
Well, it was that day I got wounded. I'll never forget that as long as I live. And not getting some of my buddies' addresses,
Yeah.
But, it's like people don't want to, like we come home, they do want to associate with. I had one guy in the neighborhood welcome me home, Dick Mooney,
Yeah.
where I lived in Weymouth. Only one welcome me home,
Did
Sad,
you? Yeah. Did you feel like? How
unwanted.
did you then sort of not want people to know that you were military? Did you, or were?
No, I never, ever, no,
Yeah.
never.
Good for you. A good Marine. Semper Fi.
Yeah, Semper Fi. I let them know it, I was a United States Marine,
Yeah. And I think that's something that people don't understand is
and
no
not
matter what. That's right.
former.
Yeah,
Still
exactly. That's right. Once a Marine, always
Always
a
a
Marine.
Marine.
I
Yep.
certainly understand that. So anything else that you, I think that this is an opportunity for people that don't understand what our life is like. They don't. I think that today they do honor. They try very, very hard to honor. But I know a lot of civilians say they feel uncomfortable because they know that they truly do not understand. So what would you say to, people that are non-military in that situation?
To get along with one another. With us there, with everything going on, we were like brothers and sisters.
Right.
We took care of one another. That's
Right.
what we should be doing now. You don't need all this fighting,
Yeah.
and it's just, sad to see that. But I am glad that they welcome these kids home, men and women, the way they do, and honor them and respect them. Very, very thankful of that, that they don't have to go through, well, not just myself, but all of us did back then.
Yeah. And I do think things have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, 'cause there's done a lot. How about honor flight? Have you gone on an honor flight?
No.
No? Are you going to go?
No, as a matter of fact, last year, my nephew, my great nephew was getting married out in Maryland. And we flew in there. It was on a Saturday, and I saw these people, and then I saw the signs and all, and I walked right in the middle of them, the honor flight. So.
And it's amazing when you do see that, what the airports, I saw the plane fly in, and they actually get out there with the fire trucks.
Oh,
And they do, what they used to do for the pilots. For the final flight, they used to spray them with water or whatever, but they actually do that to the plane. And when these people come through the airport, everybody stops, and
Yeah.
everybody makes a line for them. It's just an amazing, let's
Tribute.
put it this way, there's not much of a dry eye
yeah.
left in that airport when those folks come
I
through.
walked right in the middle of it.
Yeah. Well, you have to go sometime. I heard that's
Yeah.
really a great experience. So
Is that every year?
I think you have to sign up for it. So that's,
you
something that
sign
you have
up.
to, I think you have to, now they do it on a regular basis, but you just have to let somebody know that you want to go to on a flight. So, yeah, because I happen to be at the one in Baltimore, and they do fly out of Boston. So,
Oh. Yeah, this way, Baltimore, yeah,
yep,
right there.
that's what they do. So, any other things that you think are really important for people to know about your experience? What was it like with your family coming home? Were you married when you?
No,
No. Oh, that's right, you were 17. Okay,
17, but I
Yeah.
did marry my childhood sweetheart.
Yeah.
And in 4 years, it'll be our 50th.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. What, what kind of conversations do you and she have? Again, I apologize, I'm going to get personal, but, I think it's really important that people understand it's not just the veteran, but it's the family.
Yeah.
This is an event, this is a participatory event when people are in the military. So tell us a little bit about what kind of discussions that you...
Yeah, we don't talk about it that much, but I just, keep a lot in. You know? I mean, I talk to her about it, but that's it. I don't talk to anybody else in the family. My son's always asking me, Dad, what'd you go through over there? Because he's really into the military.
Right.
Both of them, both my sons. But Jimmy in particular, he's always, matter of fact, he got all my records. He got my father's, He got a tattoo of my dog tags on his arm.
Oh, man.
Up in here.
Yeah.
And, my father, my wife's father, the background, all that, military. They were in the Army. I'm the only Marine.
Right.
And I told them stories, that stuff we went through over there, and,
Why do you think the veterans, because I think it's sort of leading to this, if you would, why do you think the veterans have so much difficulty these days with PTSD, and being able to express that?
Yeah, matter of fact, I just went through that test for the Agent Orange after all these years.
Oh, wow, okay.
I had open heart surgery. When they told me I got diabetes from Vietnam, I said, "Are you crazy?" Right? And I did. It was,
Stress.
what it was that stuff they sprayed at Agent Orange. So it's a good thing I did. I went there because the veterans agent in town, Estelle, she told me, go there, you gotta go through this. And I did, and it's a good thing because God forbid something happens to me, my wife wouldn't have got anything. And that's the way they do it, I guess. So I went through and did that.
Did they, and I know they always try to talk to you about, about the PTSD and those kinds of things because they're very concerned.
I did. I went for over a year, saw this lady there about that.
Do you feel that it
so
helped
I got
you?
that and tried to help and,
Sure.
medication and all that.
Yeah, right.
But I don't take nothing. I don't take that. I was, and then, I kind of like,
Yeah, right.
stuff is,
Makes you loopy?
yeah, I'm not one for taking pills.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Right. One of the difficulties is getting the veterans to go to the VA. And people think, oh, because it's the VA is bad. And it's not because the VA is bad. I think it's just people, one of the things is you associate yourself with the military again. A lot of people don't want to, do that again.
Yeah.
Although it's a wonderful place because they do focus on veterans.
Right now, I've been, not regularly.
Yeah.
But they're very nice. What a change.
Yep.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
A big change in that VA.
Right. I know the president recently signed a bill about choice, which means that you can go out to civilian sectors. And I have somewhat difficulty with that because I think that, in my opinion, and I don't know what you can tell me what you think, is that it is important. It does make a difference to be in an environment where you feel comfortable again, where you feel like the routine is there. I know one of the tactics was, well, get you away from the routine and, let you move on with civilian life. And that, I don't think that's worked well. I think, getting somebody in the environment that they remember helps you move forward a little bit. What do you think about that?
Like I said, I feel comfortable now.
Yeah.
Because I've been going there for years, but just recently, I feel more comfortable. That's all I can say about it.
What, if you had to tell young you know, hopefully some young folks will be watching this, and you could tell them a lesson learned from your experience, not the details, but, you know, sort of an overall philosophy, what would
My
you say?
philosophy? I'd tell them, get your education first, and then, you know, join the military. But, and we'll always be there for you,
Right.
always.
So when do you think they should know about veterans as your takeaway?
Just, like I said, get your education,
Right, okay.
you know.
Yep.
Don't do what I did right at 17. I was still in high school when it happened, when I went, you know. That's all I can say.
Yeah, well, I know when you probably came back, I don't know, was the economy to a point where, was it easy for you to get a job when you got back?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's good.
I was I was taking home $105 a week.
Woohoo.
Taking home. I was working construction.
Yeah, good for you.
You know.
Good, good. Well, anything else that you'd like to say? I think we're sort of, yeah, wrapping it up. Well, I have to say, I mean, for anybody that's watching today, first of all, you're a Purple Heart recipient, and that is one of the highest honors that you can earn in the military. Unfortunately, the bad part of that is it's usually because something not so nice happened,
Yeah.
and you barely made it out. And I think that's one thing to tell people, and you've said it yourself. It's so important that what we do gets recognized in some way, shape, or form, even if it's a Purple Heart or a ribbon or a pin or whatever. It is important that what has happened while you're there gets recognized. And I think the good leaders that I've seen in the military or even in the world are the people that have the ability to do that and to recognize that people need to be told that it's, you know, what you did was a good thing. So I'd like to tell you that. I'm very proud. I mean, I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And it was very nice it was very nice to meet you on this level.
Yeah.
You know, well, again,
Well, thank you for
thank you for your
having me
service.
come in. Thanks.
Yep. And for being a Marine.
Yeah.
The
Hoorah.
few, the proud, the Marines.
Marines.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks.
Thank you.
So thank you, Gary.